it may have been Richard Feynman who said that there are two kinds of people in the world: those who are okay with questions they cannot answer, and those who are not okay with their answers being questioned. I think that sort of separates the world into two camps. And a lot of people will not lean into the UFO phenomena or another, call it supernatural phenomena, because they don't have a ready-made answer. And so what I try to do is to get people to say, hey, look, do you believe there's enough evidence with Air Force pilots and et cetera, that something weird is happening? Yes. But I don't know where they come from. I don't know what they eat or how they get here or why they dress like that. You don't need to have answers to admit that, yes, there's something happening here. Let's find out together. And that's where I try to get people to go, because a lot of people will shy away because they can't put that square answer in that square hole.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, it seems like that's maybe the anchor, right? There are some things we can all agree on, which is, well, hopefully, right, the majority. There's definitely something happening. What is that thing, right? It's definitely worth looking into, investigating, studying that. And that's where the nuance comes in, right? How much resources to put towards this effort, whether it be privately, that's subjective. That's up for people to do what they want with their lives. But when you get the government involved in taxpayer dollars, now you're talking about, right, a sort of democratic approach to the resources that we, right, put towards this. So what are your thoughts on that? Like, how much resources should we be putting towards this topic?
That's a good question. Well, like I said, it's one of the most important questions there is. So I think it deserves some tax dollars.
Definitely.
It's an existential issue for us. There are many people who believe that there are aliens here now. I don't know that, and I don't know if the U.S. government has alien bodies and or crafts in hangars that they're working to reverse engineer the propulsion systems for. I don't know, and I don't care. I don't care what the U.S. government has, says, or does. But, it's part of our manifest destiny.
Yeah. To
explore the heavens and explore the possibility that the heavens have come here.
Yeah, that's a great point.
It's not, people with space issues overall, people will say things like, why are we spending money on rockets when we have homeless on the streets? These aren't either or things. We don't only do one thing. We multitask. And I would say that legitimate research into this most perplexing phenomena is warranted.
Yeah, that's a good point. You got me thinking about just with, saying manifest destiny. It's like, well, whose manifest destiny, right? Like humanity, Americans, the government, the people, right? Like it starts to you start to question, what is the role of a government, right? And how far do they go for some of is that more of a private conquest rather than a government conquest, and who's in charge? You know what I mean? Like, that's why privately, people that want to look into this, I support, right? Because it's not up to any of that, right? To that sense. So yeah, it just, that's the thing with this topic. The moment you start talking about it, you can just start pulling so many threads and start asking so many questions and make you start to question a lot, which, to be fair, I like that. I like the challenge. I always say I live in the land of I don't know, and I'm okay with that. I'm in that other camp, those two questions you had. I'm okay with not knowing things. In fact, I prefer it that way. The idea of reaching a wall of knowledge in the end, and I know that sounds boring to me. I like not knowing what's around the corner. Right.
I envy you, Patrick, because you live in the land of I don't know. I live in the suburb of no idea.
Yeah.
So I'd like to move there to the sunny shores someday.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. Well, I'd say I go visit that suburb too every once in a while.
Yeah, you're always welcome. Don't have a lot to offer, dread and angst, but yeah, you're welcome.